Hi guys, it's Jeff at Brimwood Farm here. Now, as it is pouring with rain outside and it's got really cold again, I'm going to talk to you about 3 ways that you can get cheap plants for your borders. So though gardening's not a really expensive hobby, costs can really mount up when you're buying in new plants for your gardens, especially if you're like my husband who likes instant gardens and doesn't really like to grow things. Then it gets really expensive. So the first tip is to subscribe to garden centre and seed company newsletters and magazines. So every year you'll get through magazines, actually several times a year. So this is the Marshall's one. You'll get them through in the fall, and then you'll get them in the spring as well, saying buy more seeds, buy more seeds. But they often have really good offers in it. And the newsletters, the email newsletters in particular, have really good offers. So I've been wanting to get a magnolia tree for some time to put at the farm in the wildflower meadow field as kind of this structural point to walk towards. And this morning I got an email offering me 3 magnolias for £15. Now, you get this more in the winter because they're offered as bare root plants, which means they're dormant, so they can be shipped without any soil, so they're pulled out of the ground, all the soil is shaken off, and then they're shipped out. So with the shipping charge, it comes to £20. So I've got 3 magnolias for £20, which I'm not going to laugh at, I am going to buy. So that is my first tip. Subscribe for those newsletters and you'll be surprised at the deals that come in through your inbox. So tip number 2 is shun the nursery and head out to your home bargain store instead. Now, obviously, if you want a specific plant, like a David Austin rose or something, then you're going to need to buy it specifically from a nursery. If you just want more flowers for your garden, then I think it's best to actually head to your home bargain stores, because at different times of the year they'll have really good plants for sale. And what I mean by this is I went to Poundland, and as the name suggests, everything is £1, and they had some roses, and my white rose died, and I don't really care what kind of white rose I have, I just want a white rose. And I got a white rose for £1. So you have to be a little bit beware of what you're buying and a little bit of plant knowledge, because I know this is a rose, I can tell, but they did have a load of buddleia, white buddleias, for £1. However, what was in the box was not a white buddleia. I wasn't sure entirely what it was, but I know from my plant knowledge it was not a white buddleia. So be a bit careful, but if you go to your cheap stores or even your supermarkets, you can often find, especially again at this time of year, they'll have these boxes of cheap plants. They're not truly bare root because there's a little bit of soil in there, but again, you can get them for £1, £2, and that will help fill your borders out for the coming year. Obviously, if you do want specific plants, then you still need to go to a nursery. And then finally, tip number 3 is go to the bargain and the cut price areas in your local garden nurseries and your home DIY stores, because they will often have priced plants. Now, in nurseries, in general, I find you don't get massive discounts, and I think that's just because professionals know how to look after their plants. But you may get some plants that have started to go over and they don't have a great shelf life anymore, and if these are perennials, it's perfect. You can just buy them, cut them back, and then they'll grow the following year. And then there's also knocks that happen in transport, branch gets knocked off, or things dry out. In the UK, we have places like B&Q and Homebase, and they're like DIY stores that have a garden centre attached, and I get some really great bargains here. Last year I got, I think this time of year, I got about 20 primroses that were only 10p each. They were normally £2.99 each. And then I did a plant haul last year. I'll put the card up here so you can see the video. And I think I spent about £15, and they were just salvias and verbenas, and there was nothing wrong with them. They'd just gone over, so all they needed was a quick cut back, and then they're growing fine outside and they'll be ready to go this year. Now, there are some cases where you can't revive the plant, and that's normally when it's been dried out. Stick your finger in the top of the pot. If there's a little bit of moisture below that top layer of surface soil, you might be okay to go. If it's bone dry, you're going to be taking a risk. But at 50p or 20p maybe, I tend to just buy it, bring it home, shove it in a bucket of water for like at least 24 hours, look after it over the next few days and see if it dies or see if it rejuvenates. If it does die, you've only lost 50p, plus you've got a new plastic pot to put something in, so that's always good. So they're my 3 tips. Sign up for newsletters, go to cheap bargain stores which will have seasonal plants on offer, and then go to your bargain discounts corners in nurseries and local DIY stores and fill your gardens with cheap plants because it's wonderful and that's what I do. But anyway, have a great weekend. I'll see you again hopefully on Monday for Monday Magic. I'm sorry there wasn't one this week. I just felt really rough again. Still got a bit of sickness but I'm getting there. And I'll see you again soon. Bye.